Hello and welcome to Xena Warrior Podcast. My name is Vera and I'm joined as always by my two embarrassing co-hosts, Katie.
Hello.
And Livy.
I feel very seen right now. That word actually describes me.
Yes, and it should have described this episode.
It really does.
So I tried very hard with that one.
Yeah, what's the episode today, Vera?
It's 6:16.
Wow.
Send in the clothes.
Oh, good job. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, all right. We just
Should we apologize off the top?
We should.
Hey, we're not responsible for this.
We didn't make it.
Well, I mean, I am gonna say, listen, if this is your favorite episode and you're listening to this, we're sorry. You know, like, it is not our favorite.
No. Is it in the worst?
Is it? I mean, I think when we were watching it, we were like, we knew about this one as being like, as a bad.
Yeah.
We were warned in advance.
By someone.
Yeah. Like, is it in the whoosh worst?
I'm looking and also being reminded about how fish sticks is on top
I know,
of
well,
the
that's
first
what I'm
list.
saying. It's like, I'll never.
Amazingly, it is not on there.
Wow.
Okay.
I guess maybe
All
it's just
right.
like popular vote. You know,
okay.
People
Makes
have
it
found
worse.
12 episodes even worse.
Even
than
worse.
Well, it's my least favorite episode of the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so would you prefer, like, okay, what's worse? Like a horrible,
What about Purity and or Back in the Bottle?
Those are the worst
my
episodes
God,
of
no.
the show itself.
But this is just the worst.
This makes
Beyond
me feel,
any episode of Xena.
This makes me feel
What
a
about
way that I don't
Ulysses?
want to feel. That's just like a bad episode of the show.
I bet you'd go back to Ulysses now and have
No,
some nostalgia.
no, I vividly remember their like weird dance fighting move that they did on the beach, and I feel offended.
Okay, fair enough. You're right. That's
Purity
still
and Back in the
still
Bottle are
annoying.
very bad. And they're like the
But
worst,
they have
the
that
bottom
fun lady.
of the show for
I like
sure,
her.
and certainly offensive.
There are two of them, so
Yes.
they're worse. Just
I guess,
But this one
sheer
feels
quantity.
yeah,
Yeah.
You have to put it up with it
I
for
don't
way
know.
longer.
This one feels like there's 5 of them.
It's true. This is, I mean, it's interesting because there's, it's a clip show. A lot of it is clips. And yet
Yeah.
it's so, like, it feels like it goes on for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
It is such a boring episode.
It's terrible.
Even though, like, a third of it is like great Xena bits from your.
True, those parts I like.
I guess.
to some
but
extent.
just
from the past.
my heart breaks to see some of them there because, like, the context, you're just
Yeah.
like, oh, why are you, like, there's one in particular where I'm like, why on earth would you do this to us right now? Why would you remind us that this show is good and that these people can act, like, in the middle of this?
Oh boy. Well, you know how? Oh, sorry, Kate. Go
Oh
ahead.
no, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, like, I suppose now that I'm thinking about it, like, if you're gonna put like a Purity and Back in the Bottle in the mix, like, this episode has a couple of moments that I would not like to lose. For sure.
Whereas Purity and Back in the Bottle, you could,
just
they're
wipe from
yeah.
memory.
Please,
That's
please,
fair.
please let me. I want to do that thing. I've probably made this joke before, where like I get a hypnotist to just hypnotize me, so that doesn't exist
Oh
in
my
my brain
goodness.
anymore.
Or like a vampire.
Yeah. I want to get glamored.
I'm already almost done with my drink. I'm really gonna need more to get through this one.
I mean, this one's rough. Yeah. One thing to say about it is that the Xena clip shows, like the strength of a Xena clip show is that mainly it's not a clip show, it's mainly like the episode.
Right.
So that's actually like a horrible thing for this one because there's so much,
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, it's a very ambitious idea, but also to me feels more conventional, like as a clip show, because the clips just aren't really worked into it in a way that feels organic at all. It definitely just feels
You mean putting
like,
a CD-ROM into a computer
Yeah, like
is
that-
not organic to the
they're just-
program?
why are they watching certain clips at certain points? They tell you it's like, okay, like
Action.
Why is there an
They're
entire
just
package of
organized by
Joxer clips?
theme.
Yeah.
They mean nothing to anyone.
when
yeah.
clip shows at their peak are like intense psychological studies, mostly of Gabrielle.
Mostly of Gabrielle. Some of our faves. And in fact, Charlie Haskell, who's directing this, his 2 previous Xena credits are both clip shows, and they're both great.
Oh, okay.
Wow. So they were like, let's bring in our clip show
Our
guy.
clip show guy. so he did Xena Scrolls.
Wow.
And
he got schooled about that close up.
That's right.
Remember? Lucy was
Yeah.
like, Charlie, you better put me in close up. So she got a lot of them here.
I'm the star of the show, Charlie.
She got a lot.
And then his second one is Forget Me Not, which is
God, that's
our
an incredible
favorite clip show.
Yes.
Maybe? Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
So
sometimes
Jeez
you
Louise.
just don't
Sometimes
want
you
to
lose.
give it your all, maybe. Sometimes you just have an off week.
yeah,
Oh my
they
gosh.
shot this in 4 days. So
Not even
an off
a
4
week.
days.
Okay. Okay.
They shot it for $10
Oh,
in a
God.
parking lot.
Yeah, and like an office building room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they had, I forget what, like 6 hours to shoot all the outside stuff. No,
Oh my
I'm just
God.
making this up. It may
They
as
had
well.
5 minutes to shoot outside.
Oh, in the
They definitely, like,
car place. Destruction car place. What is that called?
Wrecky wreck.
Or the
Wrecky
Wrecky
Wreck.
Wreck place. The
Like a
impound.
the
What is it?
junkyard
Whatever it is.
or whatever.
Yeah. A junkyard. Okay.
Which is where this episode needs to go.
Oh, boy.
Look, I apologize if this is your favorite, and I'm sorry that we couldn't make this be like the
I
new
would
fish sticks.
Love. Okay, that's true. We have taken panned
Yeah.
episodes and made them gold.
Yeah.
Like, and fish sticks is amazing. It should not be number one. This is
number one worst.
number one worst.
Yeah.
It's number one best.
Best.
Yeah.
Duh.
But like this one should be on the worst list.
It really
and
should.
I don't know why it isn't. So let's make it
Be on there.
Be on there.
Yeah.
I guess is the goal.
I guess you're kind of hitting on like what in the end my complaint about this episode is, which is like I'd love to be able to rescue it, to like come up with some kind of reading of it, you know, how it's really like about fandom and has all these interesting things to say.
That would be great.
God.
But it literally has nothing to say about anything.
No.
Like it's
Well,
just so surface.
You're hitting upon like what I personally don't like. So this is like a personal problem. So if this is your favorite thing, listeners,
Okay.
then it is
you
whatever.
said it if you
But
apologize.
I hate.
It's
I'm because I'm gonna be
okay.
so hard on this. Like it's
I have
rough.
if
like
it
harder than I am
is-
on Virgil.
This is your favorite episode.
Yeah.
I want to meet you.
That's what I was about
I
to
just
say.
want to know who you are. Like, what do you like?
Well, people just like enjoy it because it's like whatever.
Sure.
You know?
Funny.
But
It's
I
funny.
find any kind
Sometimes,
of
at
fandom reference in television programs, like a meta fandom
Wink,
call
wink.
out.
I see you.
I hate
We're
that
getting
stuff.
Fourth
into
wall
the meat
break.
of the episode.
I like that is just my least favorite thing. I don't want to be reminded of fandom while I'm watching my program that I like escape into. Fandom I do myself, you don't do it show, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
I was trying to come up with examples of other shows that have gone to this place.
Besides Supernatural.
Besides Supernatural, which we've discussed a little bit
Yeah.
in our queer baiting mini-sode.
Supernatural
Right.
must be the number one.
Because they've done it so many times.
They've done it a lot.
10, 12
And-
times.
And like their like, you know, intertextuality is really complex, right? Because they
Yes.
have like a guy in the world of the show who's like writing books
Right.
that then like become a movie and like
Right.
a musical and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I only like it on the X-Files. I think I probably said that before too. Hollywood AD I liked.
Yes.
Where there's a movie based on them.
Hollywood AD is a close analog to
But it's
this.
like tiny, teeny, tiny,
Oh.
and it was like really good. And it like made fun of them like in a good way. And mainly made fun of Mulder, I feel like. And it was
Yeah.
written by
'Cause it's
David Duchovny.
It's easy to make fun of Mulder.
Yeah. So that one was
Low-hanging
that
fruit.
one was like a good one. So I don't know. This was like embarrassing.
The other example I could come up with is Sherlock, which had this fan group portrayed on screen, and it was really mean spirited. Like if you don't like the fans in Send in the Clones, you would hate like these fans. They're just in one scene. They're not as central to the goings on as the fans.
Were they
here.
talking about their subtextual relationship? Of,
Yeah, they're talking about how they like ship Sherlock and Moriarty mainly. And,
not even.
Yeah, they didn't even go to like
Oh
the
my
obvious
God.
place. But it was very mean and
Is that who Stephen Moffat secretly shipped?
disrespectful, and it just, you know, superfluous. It just that's the thing I think with a lot of these sort of fan depictions is it just sort of doesn't need to be there a lot of the time.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, like you feel like it reveals some kind of insecurity on the part of the people making it, where it's like, oh, we see you there.
I mean, like we
you
know how fans
we're worried
are,
about you.
like,
Yeah.
as fans. I don't know. There was like this episode of Grey's Anatomy that they were portraying like Grey's Anatomy fandom, but there was like some kind of accident at Comic-Con, so they brought in a bunch of quote-unquote fans from Comic-Con. And
That's just, they were just like,
kind of
funny.
I think Smallville had an episode like that
people,
too, set at a Comic-Con.
they were just like people.
But they were like, they were like literally covered in like Doctor Who stuff and arguing about like whatever Doctor Who stuff.
Didn't Stargate do this as well? Like an episode set at a Comic-Con? This is like a whole other subset. Yeah, I feel like the original Stargate did that, like with Claudia Black era Stargate.
Oh my
I
goodness.
feel the shining goal of anything like this is probably Galaxy Quest.
Oh my god.
Like,
yeah.
That's like maybe one of the
best.
And
I love its treatment of the fan in it.
It's very loving.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Yes.
Yeah, and it lets the fans save the day, which I wish this episode had done. I think I'd feel a little better about it. If
because of the not spoilers for Galaxy Quest. Galaxy Quest,
you can't spoil Galaxy Quest because it's so wonderful that even if you knew the whole plot, you'd still love it.
Yeah.
Oh, spoiler culture. Oh.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I don't like it whenever there's like fans involved in a thing.
Yeah,
except for Galaxy Quest.
I think that there's case by case basis because you've clearly named a few instances where you like
the Supernatural episode was actually pretty interesting.
Yeah. I think that though it just depends on the treatment of fandom, and I think that regardless of where the show was coming from or where the writer's coming from, the output that is created on the screen, I do not think is flattering and I do not think is nice. And that's why I really don't like it. That at the end of the day, I just think that it's making fun of these people.
And part of it, of course, is just the power imbalance because you're the fan, you're not making the show. So, like, your input isn't really being factored in.
Yeah.
So when a creator sort of says, here, look, here's you, you're like, that's not me. I'm like, I didn't make that. You made that. And you clearly don't see me all that closely because you're way more powerful than I am.
Yeah.
So, it always feels mean.
And I find it surprising for this show particularly that this is what happens in this episode because... And we know that we've talked in the past about, this show, X-Files, the Star Treks, are kind of like the first fandoms that are dealing with the digital world where, like, fans are more involved with the creators and the creators are going online and seeing all that stuff and interacting. But, like, this show had a fan write for it and wrote good episodes. Like, that's more interesting.
Season. Yeah, if anyone should have written this episode, it was Missy Good.
Yeah,
she obviously could have done this in a way that would actually be almost like sociologically interesting because you'd be getting a fan writing about fan culture.
I'm sure then the fandom though would have had like it would have been like I don't know, like maybe that's like the like even worse idea because then you have like all this intricate it
would have been worse for Missy.
I was not there.
Good for TV.
But yeah, so and I just like because I think also that the show in general and the people behind it do seem to have a lot of respect for the fandom and care about the fandom. So.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the fans themselves, there's 3 of them, they were just, like, diluted into, like, very specific things, and only one of them was, like, horrific. Joxer fan, who I take offense, like, all the way back to the introduction of Joxer, when Rob Tapper had mentioned how he meant a 14-year-old boy whose favorite character was Joxer.
Oh, right.
And also, like, I, like, literally hate this guy so much, because not only is he played by Black Wolf's boyfriend, who I hated for Black Wolf episode.
Just to really shove it in.
But he's Joxer fan. And it's like, this is not a representation of anyone who watches this fucking show. Like,
well,
no one sits around being like,
Joxer.
Joxer.
That's the thing.
Whatever. This should not be the focus. Because you know what? You know what's not a focus on, like, let's say, Stargate, SG-1, Carter fans. Like, I was never being, like, focused upon because it's, like, a show about 3 dudes, and that's who everybody, like, focused on. So I'm just telling you, like...
I think the breadth of, like, the stuff that you see in this episode does kind of remind you how popular the show is and how the fandom that exists now was part of the fandom that was really big then, but then also that like people were just watching this show like a huge amount. There's so much shit in there. There's so much merch.
Yeah, I was like
bananas.
Oh my god.
It was like eBay brought to life. I was like, I want that.
I want that. Yeah,
I wonder if I could get that. I was really eyeballing Clea's T-shirt.
We all were.
That one is, I was saying that one's.
I think you can
now,
still get that
for sure for facts. Like if I wore that down the street, that would be like,
Oh yeah, I want
hip,
that. Yeah,
hip,
for sure.
hip AF.
So, I mean, let's just jump in.
Okay.
This episode is written by Paul Robert Coyle and directed by Charlie Haskell, as you mentioned. Paul Robert Coyle is like a freelance guy, and he was responsible for the Hercules episodes that were like very meta. Like, yes, Virginia, there's Hercules, and I forget the other one name. But like that's...
And he was a character in them. He was the character played by Michael Hurst.
Oh, okay, so he gave himself a gambling addiction
Yeah.
and like a drug problem.
That's part of why.
Yes.
Well, I think that's the. I mean, I
Yes.
felt that when we watched Yes, Virginia. Like,
Yeah, well, we were like, dang, whoever that one is, like, they're going hard on him.
then,
So
of
I'm
course,
glad
it's the writer of the
okay, I'm
episode.
glad it is. But, like, yeah.
But at the same time, like, my whole reaction to that was, this is like one giant in-joke that I do not get.
Yeah,
Like,
this is
was
an in-joke
clearly
for the
written
writers'
for the writer's
room.
room, which is
Yeah.
such a weirdly small audience to mold your
However,
thing
I
on.
enjoyed seeing Hudson Like as Liz Friedman. I really
yeah,
enjoyed
that
that.
was
I felt like
great.
I was in on that joke.
Yeah, that's true, because we love Liz Friedman, so...
But anyway, yeah, so they got him for this, and he was like, oh, yeah, I was much harder on the writer's room in the Hercules episode, so, like, this is, like, to him, this was, like, fine, like, depicting the fans this way.
He also said that in his first draft, he turned it in and got the note that it was too mean-spirited.
Wow.
That this is actually the toned-down version, that his
gosh.
original
Wow.
treatment of the fans was
Dang.
worse.
Wow, well, at least they were, I guess, conscious about that.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I'll say is that it isn't pandering. Like, they literally don't get to do anything. They're
No, I mean,
very
they're just-
incompetent.
They're just very, like, diluted into, like, this is a person who's only obsessed with Gabrielle, and this is a person who's only obsessed with, like, not even Xena. Xena's fighting ability, and then, like, Joxer fan.
So do you think these aren't accurate? These are, I mean, it's hard
There
to know,
are people
right?
who are
Yeah.
only, like, you know, if this is your person, like, you're very obsessed with them and you know, only want that. But I feel like you would appreciate also, like if you were, like, into Xena, like, I think you would appreciate Gabrielle and be cool with watching her clips, too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's like,
You didn't
I
like
just
how
don't...
reductive these character types
I just don't buy
were.
their
Broad
one
strokes,
note.
it's like
Yeah, broad stroke,
People
one
who are
note.
watching it because it's an action show and it's fun, they just like the action scenes,
Yeah.
whatever. And then there's the, you know, subtext
Yeah.
shipper person, and that's that part of fandom only. And it's like, to have, like, that is kind of the most interesting thing when we talk about it as we go through, but like, where, you know, people are like, oh, stop talking about that, as if that isn't like the only thing in the show.
Yes.
Which is like then thus showing
Yes.
our bias of
Right,
like
of
watching
course,
the show
because
as
we're
fans.
all Cleas. Yeah.
And of course, I think you mentioned while we were watching, Liv, that the episode that did a meta discussion and dissection of itself was the one where Gabs directs the play.
Right, plays the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, you
Like,
know,
that's
also had
successful.
Allison Wall kind
Yeah.
of sending up a certain segment of the fan base, but in a way that was much more loving.
Yeah, everything about it was, like, more, you know, it talked about itself, but, like, in a not cringy way.
Yeah, I think it's better to have a metaphor. So, you know, when you have the play standing in for the show,
Yeah.
you're able to sort of make these jokes about the show in a way that doesn't feel quite so... It's just confusing, which we'll get into. I know Katie has a lot of thoughts on just, like, what does it mean that within the universe of Xena Warrior Princess, there's a TV show called Xena Warrior Princess, which is based on the Xena Scrolls and
We knew
stars
that. Wasn't-
actors who look just like the characters or something.
Yeah, but we knew that from when
We
What's-His-Face was
sort of
pitching
knew
it.
that. We knew it was a pitch.
Yeah, well,
and that Rob
Rob said yes.
Rob
We
said
know
yes to the
that from
pitch.
What's It has been on the show before, because we've had Annie
Oh, right.
and
Deja vu
yeah,
all over
yeah,
again.
and
Yeah.
stuff going
Yeah,
with
so
it.
we've gone
It's-
even
we've talked about
further
this
into this
probably
universe.
then as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Whereas, like, you have, like, and I feel like we just came down to, like, oh, there's Xena clones all the time. Back then, there's, like, 7 of them, just in her, you know, age alone. There's Meg, there's, you know, etc. There aren't really many Gabs ones, but I guess it's possible.
Sappho would have been one.
Sappho would have been.
Also, that lady who was the wife that she was from some king or
Oh,
whatever.
right.
So I guess
That
it's just
one.
like by sheer coincidence of fates, I guess, these two who look just like them end up being the actors.
Sure.
So
Lucy Lawless
and Renee O'Connor
who
are
in the
themselves
show.
Gabs and Xena,
Yes,
kind of
clones.
reincarnated clones.
And the show
types,
exists separate. The
doppelgangers.
show them exists separately from
The show we're
like,
watching.
reincarnated versions of them that we see in like the soul possession, deja vu chain of stuff. These are clones. I
Yeah.
don't know what the fuck. They're
Yeah.
just clones.
They're just
They're just clones.
Yeah,
It's
Xena's
so
clones.
confusing.
All right. Well, this episode begins with like some X-Files music, straight up X-Files music, nighttime, and we see cars. So we're like, oh shit, this is not
This is weird.
ancient whatever the fuck. This is modern times.
This was very like, spy movie, Watergate sort of situation. Meeting of
X-Files,
cars.
aka X-Files.
AKA X-Files, I guess.
There's a lot of X-Files vibes. And we have our introduction to Dr. Alexis Los Alamos.
Is that really her name?
Yup.
No.
Not made up at all.
No.
Claire Stansfield is back. And she's wearing a
She's
suit.
great. Nobody's unhappy to
She's-
see her.
I'm so happy to see her.
I love her.
Yeah.
been
And I love
amazing.
seeing her not playing Alti for
Yes,
a while.
yes.
Speaking in like a regular human
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah,
It actually
it's
made
weird.
me concerned for her because I like realized how much she like fucks up her
Yeah.
voice to play Alti.
I mean, she didn't do it that low. Like, I feel she was rusty.
Oh no.
But,
She hasn't appeared since Them Bones, Them Bones.
yeah.
So it's
and
been a
that
while.
was like the first clip we also saw.
Right,
when
yeah.
she does appear.
They're reminding you about how
Yeah.
crazy that episode was.
So she's purchasing something shady from Guy, who is the actor who played Falafel or whatever on all these.
I'm just gonna throw a coin in.
He looks like Borat now, I think.
He's always looked like Borat.
Yeah, but like especially in modern
he's
times.
Very,
I don't know.
very Borat vibes.
Yeah, with the stash and the hat. So he's sold her a briefcase and it has the chakram, Xena chakram, and then it has
The new chakra.
the new chakram and 2,000-year-old hair samples. So
It's totally a thing.
Life
Yep.
finds a way.
oh boy. So this goes into Them Bones.
Yep.
We're straight
Just,
to it.
why not?
Yep.
Yeah, and
Sure.
then
Narrative.
For a few
motivated.
solid minutes, we get Them Bones,
Just
Them
to
Bones.
remind us of Alti.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, I think so. And
Alti exists.
she does, and that kind of transitions into a tape of the episode. So now you're like on a TV screen, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and it's like they've paused it.
Yeah,
This
they
is so
paused
odd.
it.
They've paused it, and then they keep
Staring
acting
at it.
as if something's happening. Yeah, I was like, what is wrong with these fans? Hit play, hit play.
So, like, we're clearly in the living room of some Z-Nights now. There's, like, merch and, everywhere. There's magazines on the walls and stuff like that. And they're compiling clips for a VCR to VCR fanvid. That's what it looked like.
That is exactly what they're doing. I mean, yeah, they're pulling clips. They're sort of, what clips do we need? What would be good? In
Yeah.
a way, this is all
Get
a
the
metaphor.
time code.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
whole episode is kind of a metaphor for
Yeah.
like viding Xena. Like,
Right.
what do you use? What's your
Yeah.
focus?
And
Yeah.
to those who don't know, but like, yeah, that's how you used to vid back in the day, which is take clips from one VCR and transfer it to another, and that's your vid.
It's amazing. That takes some patience.
It does. The pioneers of vidding. So, all right, let's meet our guys here. We have Joxer fan. His name's Mac. He's the tech nerd.
He wears a little hat, like one of those floppy hats.
Reference Joxer.
Yeah.
Ugh, with a pin with like Aries earrings on it.
Yeah, Aries earrings.
Ugh, he's
And like
so
a little fighting
terrible.
dude.
So he only cares about the male characters in the show, and he wants to fuck the ladies. That's the delusion of
his
him.
deal.
Yeah.
Yep. And he's terrible.
Oh,
He's
every second he's on
horrific.
screen, I want to throw myself out a window. I hate this character. I hate everything he
Throw
says.
some coins.
He's
whenever
gonna get all
mentioned.
the-
It's so
coins.
problematic, and also sometimes the stuff he says, like you feel like it's supposed to be played as like a joke, like look at how ill he is, but like then it doesn't land that way.
Yeah,
it
it
sort of
doesn't
just
land.
lands like, yeah, he's a dude. He wants to grab their boobs. Like, duh. I'm like,
I
okay.
like that one time where
Which
she
is
was
that-
like,
I
he's
mean,
gross.
it's like-
I like that.
Oh God! I mean, yeah, it's like
They
that's
keep
the
hanging
thing.
out
It's
with
like
him.
I know,
That's
that's
part
the
of
thing.
it.
hanging
Like,
out with him. They keep, I don't know. He just keeps making these gross references and getting away with it, and it's just gross.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate it.
He is not held accountable for any of his behavior. It is not cool.
So then we have Dr. Polly.
Yay, Polly.
I like that she's a doctor.
Yeah. So, I mean, the thing is, right, you first think that these are just Xenites, and you're going to be like, oh, there's, like, fans involved here, et cetera, et cetera. But, like, no, these are, like, women in STEM, and also Joxer who's the tech dude. So they're, like, all part of this project with Dr. Alexis Los Alamos, where they're making Xena clones come to life. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dr. Polly, she has extensive experience in psychological profiles.
Oh, right. I forgot about that detail. I want a TV show about Dr. Polly.
Yeah, and then Clea Duval, who's our Gab fan.
Yeah, I'm not sure what her job is.
Yeah, she's just there.
Professional Gab fan.
Maybe she's just like, yeah, exactly. So we see that there sure are clones of Xena and Gabs.
Uh-huh.
They're just kind of like, how would you describe that?
Yeah, these sort of like
pods, like an Alien, but without shirts.
This is a set from Cleopatra 2525.
Oh, okay.
So
then it's just that. Yeah,
set.
perfect. So they were made from the hair that they were found in the tomb of the Xena scrolls.
Right. That is an odd detail. So yeah, that makes you go, oh, was it Janice's hair? And
I don't know. Yeah.
Whoa.
Right now they're like lifeless, husks. So they have to like infuse them with thoughts. So they have to program these clips.
That's how clones work.
Yes, according to this program.
We should say that, of course, everybody was obsessed with cloning back in.
They literally say that the hairs are from the tomb of the Xena.
Yes, they do. That's where they got it. Yep.
Nobody was the... Okay. It must have been Mel's hair.
Yeah,
maybe
I
it
think
could
so.
be Gabs'
So
old
that's
hair.
maybe part of...
This is 2,000-year-old hair, they said.
Yeah, that's true.
You mentioned how cloning was like the big deal.
Right, Dolly.
So Dolly was like cloned in 1995, I think.
Okay. I guess that's actually now old news. 2001.
I guess. But I mean, it was like pretty extensive in the 90s. Like it was always talked about.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Mac is really gross. He was like, he didn't care that they were like lifeless, wanted to grab her boobs.
I hate him.
He wanted to do like quote unquote cardiac massage when it didn't work.
It's so gross.
And this is one of the places where I sort of didn't appreciate the actor's nudity, I think in part because you had this character, you had multiple characters actually like salivating over them. Clea does it too.
That's fine.
I don't know.
That was fine.
I found it weird.
I didn't need it to be like, let's give him mouth to mouth, but whatever, there's like, she wasn't gross about it. She just made a comment. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
There's a difference. And also the fact that they were naked gave them the joke about how like they ordered the outfits from the magazine, from the catalog. Yeah. And they're coming tomorrow or whatever, so...
And only the girls are excited to dress them.
Right.
Still got to enforce those gender roles.
Well, they made it clear that Joxer fan did not want them in clothes.
Not allowed.
That's true.
Anywhere near them.
Yeah, exactly.
Good point.
So then you download the Xena apps into the clones.
Right. This is so silly also because they have to put the Xena apps on digital discs.
Oh my God.
Otherwise, it won't work.
Oh my God.
They have to digitize Xena.
It's so good. So there's like a dig at the subtext here because Gabs fan wanted to do a lot of like the campfire scenes.
Well, it's not even just a dig so much as it is Joxer fan turns to Clea and goes, "If you talk about subtext, I'm gonna barf." That's what he says.
Well, that's how we feel about looking at him.
Well, that's true.
Also, he has like no lenses in his glasses.
Right, he rubs his eyes through them at one point.
What is that supposed to mean?
I don't know. Like, it's all artificial. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Joxer doesn't wear glasses.
He doesn't even wear green. Like, why does he, like, his color, like, shirt is, like, green as if that's, like, if anything, that's Gabrielle's old look.
Yeah, that's a good point.
No sense.
I don't know. A lot of question marks in this episode shot in 4 days.
Well, Dr. Alexis Los Alamos wants to start with some Polly Xena fighting clips. So
Yeah, it
they
seems
put that
like
in.
Alexis is very invested in like mostly getting Polly's opinion because she's also obsessed with Xena. She's definitely more of a Xena fan than a Gab fan.
Oh, we discussed this. She's definitely a Xena fan. But only for fighting. No other part of Xena does she care about. She's certainly not invested in her romantic life. Mm-mm. So they download some really stupid clips like Chakram and then like, Olivia flying around.
What?
Right?
I've never heard you talk about Livia so dismissively.
No, it's fine. I just don't want it here
Like
in
of
this
all the
episode.
clips for the action scenes, and they start with
Chakram.
Yeah. Also a terrible episode. It would be on my top 10 list.
Yeah.
I have some notes about these clips. Joxer fan appears to love the way. Interesting choice. They all seem to be enjoying Heart of Darkness. Okay.
The clones are not responding to this, and Gab Van suggests that she needs a dose of Gabby. That'll jumpstart her heart. I like that, because she's not wrong.
we're all Cleas.
Clea is best, we should say.
Yeah.
I feel like in terms of just acting and presence.
Right.
Like,
I mean, I don't mind Polly, but like I do wish that she wasn't
love
so
Polly,
one-note about her Xena stuff.
I feel like they didn't.
I think she also like made fun of the relationship slightly, and that's where I'm like,
That's
I don't,
true.
yeah,
It
I
just
don't think
seems
she
so disinterested in it that does not seem very representative of a Xena fan.
Exactly. They attempt to do the like gross, like cardiac massage, and then like the mouth to mouth or whatever, and Polly's like, y'all are gross. So, but then all the grossos decide to download all the bath time clips.
Right. Yeah, I love how Clea kind of like goes on about like all of her clips, the fun they had together, the baths they shared.
I mean, she's not wrong. Like, she is talking about the true spirit of the show.
She is
the whole time.
Yeah, and not only that, but you feel like her lines have more specificity.
Yeah,
like
she
give it
sounds
that.
like a real fan.
Of these three fans, the subtext fan does have the most going on. So it is clearly kind of. They've done more research, I guess, about this particular sort of fan.
But Dr. Alexis Los Alamos tells them that, no, we can save this for tomorrow. The clones can't handle so much downloading, so let's call it a night.
Also, just, I don't know, the science is so stupid, just hearing you go, like, the clones can handle so much downloading.
Go crazy.
I feel like, is it weird that that's the thing that gets me to cringe the most in this episode, is just how stupid the science is? Like, I don't know, I don't know anything about science, but I found this just so dumb.
I mean, it's very dumb. I don't know.
Achingly
It makes
dumb.
sense to me. They do have brains or whatever.
You definitely can't put a disc in a computer and hit a button.
A clone's
They're
brain
like, they have like
it.
little what's-its on their foreheads. Is that how it was getting in there?
so.
I mean, Lilu Dallas, Multipass,
Yes.
downloaded like the entire human
But she was
existence.
watching it.
Yes,
And
but
she's
she
not
did
human,
it all.
so
That's
you
true.
understand that
She
that
is
could
the
happen.
fifth element.
These are just human clones in some human lab. I don't know. It just sounded so stupid.
But maybe
to me.
they were going off.
And
of
not only that,
Was
fifth
a lot of
element.
cloning stuff happening in the noobs at this time?
Not
I don't
at
really
this
remember.
time. It's been a while.
people are probably, giving more information about
Well, no, it's all
Dolly.
happening all the time.
Dolly
I guess.
updates.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just meant like that particular era of cloning. Not that.
Remember how Barbara
gone.
Streisand cloned her
I
dogs?
was just
Oh,
thinking
yes.
about that.
Yeah, good times.
Barbara Streisand has a mall in her house,
Yeah.
but there's a basement.
And then her clones go to shop there.
Ice
This is
cream-
already a better episode.
ice
Amazing.
cream shop.
All right, everybody leaves, and I just wanted to point out that I really love the like mysterious like Cinemax music.
All of the music
Yeah.
is terrible. What happened?
I loved
I
it.
don't know.
It was like very specific,
It's
like
so
90s.
distracting.
Like all the shots of like nighttime Los Angeles and stuff like really
Yeah.
remind me of The Net starring Sandra
my
Bullock.
God.
Like a lot of the
Stock footage
signs,
of
and
LA.
yeah,
Yeah.
like a lot of the sign stuff also, and there's like this music. There was like definitely
Cinemax,
vibes.
did you say?
Yeah, a couple, maybe not Cinemax specifically. Although some of this music did kind of remind
Late
me
night.
of Basic Instinct as well.
Yeah.
I guess Joe
It's like
Ladico
when-
was going for
Yeah,
something.
some kind of like sexy
On the
90s.
X-Files, that they
Yeah.
would go to like a club.
Ooh, yeah,
music,
yeah,
like
yeah.
weird.
Yeah, but I mean, he straight up stole that plinkiness from the X-Files.
Oh yeah,
in
for sure. At the beginning,
yeah.
that's different.
All right, well, nighttime, creepy glove person sneaks into the lab and loads the CD-ROM.
Oh my god.
Evil Xena clips.
I do say, all of the screensaver stuff that's been like
it
on the
was
screens
so
behind
real,
people
yeah.
and stuff is really fun.
It is funny.
It's too real.
That
yeah.
one that just has Xena,
Xena
like
going
flopping around.
3D text.
3D text.
I remember those.
Yeah,
Those are
yeah.
good times.
It was good.
Yeah. Nice. I like that.
So the Evil Xena clips, of course, had like, her doing all the Northern Amazon murders, killing.
They're all the best clips.
Yeah. Well,
I guess revealing my status
Sure.
as a Xena fan.
Xena the Conqueror, crucifying Gabs. That was interesting.
Yeah, that was fun to have those.
And-
I believe actually Paul Robert Coyle wrote that, so that might be why.
Well, he
it's
was in
there.
charge of picking all these clips.
Yeah.
So he wanted to
He
do
picked
clips.
his own stuff.
He wanted to
and there's a
clips-
lot of Sacrifice 2 in there, which he also wrote. So this guy has an agenda that
Yeah.
he did not disclose when
he did
explaining
not.
how he chose clips.
But he said the thing that he did disclose, let's just say, is that he wanted to pick things that have not been featured before, which I understand that, desire.
Yeah.
You
And
don't want to have like that same clip that you've seen a million times over and over. So yeah, lots of murders here. And
I like that
then-
it freezes on that sneer face from
Yeah.
Destiny. That's a great face.
Right, and then actual Xena clone mimics it. She has a little sneer.
She has a little sneer too, and that's
Yeah.
how you know.
Yeah.
Oh no, she's been negatively
Yeah.
influenced.
And I think you already mentioned how you thought that the direction in this episode wasn't so good, Liv.
Yeah, I do not care for the direction of this episode.
But I
think
liked
it
how this-
really lets everybody down.
I mean-
it is terrible.
Of the actors, maybe, but I did like how they did the sort of visualization of the downloading, which is that the reflection of all the monitors is on the clones.
That's true. That was
cool.
a cool shot.
Yeah.
I agree. That was, and just sort of artistic in a
Yeah,
way that
yeah,
the rest of this
I like
episode
that,
doesn't
yeah.
really follow through with.
I know, God. All right, so we're back next morning, and this is actually a really great moment that makes me laugh because Clea enters and she just screams real loud, like, "Oh no!"
This is the best
And
moment of
you're
the whole
like,
episode.
"Oh my God, what happened?" And
She knows. She
yeah.
knows someone's broken in.
Yeah, exactly. But nope, it's just Joxer and he's cut Gabs' hair, Gab clone. But, Clea wanted her hair to be the classic.
Yeah.
Classic
Gabs.
Gabby.
Yeah,
I do
classic
feel
Gabs
a
hair.
little attacked by this.
I thought his line was horrible, only in the reruns, babe. Like, fuck you. I don't know. That's too annoying. Also, how dare he give her such a good haircut? Also, that's so creepy and very much like the X-Files episode Irresistible.
Oh my God,
To-
what?
So
Oh, he's just like
that
a
he's
serial killer?
keeping
No,
her
but I
hair
don't need
in
any
some kind of-
dude cutting hair. It just makes me think of that
You're
episode.
a dude's cut hair.
He's not Jonathan Van Ness from Queer Eye. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Well, this guy certainly doesn't seem like he knows how to do a good haircut.
I mean, yeah. It just previously
But
he
you
wanted
never
to
know.
fondle them naked.
She's lying on a table. How's he even getting to the back? And the back looks so good.
Oh my God! Right?
How do you do
yeah.
that?
Well, yeah. I just didn't want him near her because, again, previously he
Yeah.
just wanted to fondle their naked bodies. So now he's doing this.
He
It's
did that one time.
points
We didn't even
in.
mention. He
He
that
did
thing
fondle
where
them.
he
Yeah, he's sort
put
of
his
poking
finger
it.
up her
Yeah.
Man.
leg.
Oh.
He draws his finger up her.
Oh no!
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's awful. I
Oh
hate
jeez,
it.
I missed that.
Oh.
Well, the catalog outfits that they ordered are
They've
their
arrived.
season 6 Gabs look,
Of course.
which seems dubious.
With the size.
Yeah,
Complete.
exactly.
Yeah. I want to know if those are made of plastic. Does she use them? Maybe she doesn't, actually.
That's interesting. I kind of wish that they did dress her in the early outfits or something.
You could have definitely
this is
gone to
anything.
a more,
Yeah,
You could have been a
exactly.
little more inventive.
Yeah,
with
she
this.
could have literally
Yeah.
looked like classic Gabs.
It would have fun to see them almost in just homemade approximations of their looks.
Oh
But
my
again, you'd have to
God.
spend money.
I
on
wish.
that.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! I really wish there was a line that was like, "Oh man, everything was sold out, but her season 1 outfit."
Here she is, Miss Amphipolis.
Yeah.
That's all we got.
That would be so realistic. So Mac, Joxer fan, discovers that someone downloaded the evil Xena clips, and they.
Oh, can we hit pause for a second? this whole idea of like evil Xena clips
Of
that
course,
you just
yeah.
download into
Yeah.
her brain and then she's evil
Terrible.
Xena is just, I feel like we should.
Against the thesis.
Yeah. I almost don't even want to talk about it.
No,
It's
it's
so stupid.
I just am over here sitting again thinking about the like meta where it's like we've talked about before. This has nothing to do with it, but it's like if we're watching the TV show Xena, right? Which is supposed to be based on the fucking scrolls, right? Like we're like privy to watching the show, but then they made the show be like within the show.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like, what are we watching?
You're watching a clip show of the show within the
We're
show.
like watching. I hate it. I love the idea of Gabs' scrolls being used to like create a TV
That then
show
makes
of these people,
this
but it just
forgotten
gets so muddled
historical
that it
figure,
makes
yeah.
me sad.
So when Joxer discovered that someone had downloaded like evil clips into Xena clone, I think there was a line about how they need to quickly counter this with some Gabs tapes.
Quick, throw some Gabs in there.
Which is so true though. Like that is how you deal with that.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think actually Clea says like she just suffered trauma. She literally is like hurt. We need the comfort. Bring it in.
She
Bring
knows
it
what's
in.
going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Clea is real to me.
So finally they do the Gabs clips here.
And speaking of hurt comfort, we get immediately one against an army. And the way... I mean, it's a big Gabs episode. And then, like, a lot of action Gabs,
Okay.
including, obviously, Ides of March. Sort of the beginning of the identity of action
Yeah.
Gabs. And then there's, like, this whole business with, like, they decide, okay, now we need Xena to know about the consequences of her violent past.
Yeah,
which
that
is
was a
literally
request.
the whole fucking show.
That was the request from Dr. Alexis Los Alamos.
Yeah, that's what Dr. Alexis did.
That was a request.
Yeah.
From who?
Yeah, what is
Dr.
it?
Alexis Los Alamos. you know.
Yeah, that seems to be the whole show.
Yeah.
But
that
why
was-
would she want Xena to need this if she's alti? Why does she
that's
need
true.
alti to know this?
She really
I
would
mean,
not
Xena
want
know this.
Xena to be at all concerned with the
Yeah.
consequences. That's a really good point. This is why it's a bad clip show, because a lot of the incorporation of clips doesn't even make sense.
It's like, we need more
it's not
clips,
in
quick.
character. So then we get a very long and involved clip from Sacrifice,
I mean, that is
which
besides the
Paul
show-
Robert Coyle wrote.
Oh, shit. Well, dude, this was a great scene, Paul Robert Coyle. He should have stuck to that kind of shit, not this. Like, that was one of my favorite moments from the whole show of Xena doing the big apology.
Sierra
in
apology.
the center of a town and Callisto watching. Like, that,
Yeah,
that's
Callisto
gold.
realizing that this isn't enough. So it
Yeah.
isn't even about
This is a Callisto
what-
clip for a Callisto
yeah.
clone.
Yeah. This is not about the consequences of Xena's dark past. Or only indirectly. This is a scene about Callisto.
So yeah, I mean, all this footage is making Xena clone kind of like have facial tics. She's starting to wake up.
The eyebrow, battle eyebrow is let me in on the action.
Yeah. So then the Xenites start arguing about which Xena Gabs campfire scene is best. That was a little weird and also like wrong, right?
Yeah.
That none of these exist or
But
something.
What's frustrating is, this is sort of trying to be like winky wink, this is how fans talk, but like it's all just nonsense. Like they're not citing actual episodes of the show, or they are, but they're not episodes with campfire scenes
Right.
in them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This joke for me fell really flat. Even the bit about she kept her boots on.
my God,
I mean, we
yeah.
obviously like have complained about the fact that Xena just goes to sleep in her like full costume
Yeah.
sometimes.
She only takes the boots off if she's like fishing.
Yeah.
Like.
But I don't know. It just didn't work for me. I feel like, again, it lacked specificity somehow as an actual, like, what a fan might discuss.
What is just such a cliche about fans being like in episode blah blah
Yes.
blah.
Continuity
It's like
errors.
what they do in that thing
Yeah.
with the Lisa Lost on The Simpsons, like episode blah blah blah. Wizard
Yes.
did this,
Which
a
is
wizard
itself, that's them
It's just so
reacting
cliche.
to, like, the message boards that all the Simpsons fans hung out
Yeah.
on.
Oh
and,
my
like,
And it sort of
God.
seems like some
them.
kind of like anti nitpicking, which as a person who just nitpicks the shit out of this program
I mean,
for hours and hours, I
don't
suppose
forget.
I'm offended.
Yeah, at a certain point, I'm like, are they talking about podcast hosts?
Yeah, and not only that, we just nitpicked,
Yeah,
which
the
episode numbers of their nitpicking they were picking. So
Maybe this episode really does actually have the jump on it.
Yeah.
I feel seen again.
So while they're arguing about this, they do not notice that Xena clone has woken up. Let's just go with awaked.
Nope, that was wrong on purpose.
Okay. Let's go with awaked. And she's dressed in like the stuff they got from the catalog. So she has like the classic chakram, which is interesting, right? So they were only able to get her like season whatever 1 through 4
That's
outfit.
what was available.
But Gabs had season 6 outfit. And she takes that chakram and she like throws it. I don't know. She's not really aiming at like doing anything other than just like throwing it.
Yeah, maybe it's just like a reflex.
Like she's like, oh, I have my chakram. I
woke
gotta
up,
throw
you gotta
it.
throw it.
Yeah. And when she catches it, it breaks because it's not the real deal. So she comes over and does what I want, which is put the pinch on Joxer. And she demands to know what's going on.
I do love that Joxer is checking his watch.
That was funny.
That was a detail you don't
and you
usually
could hear
see
the
in these
seconds
scenes.
ticking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That any fan, and I guess this is something that fans do. I don't know if I've ever personally done this, but I actually
Do the pinch on yourself?
No, time the pinches to see if they're 30, go over 30 seconds.
Oh, they always do.
always
They
do.
never are 30 seconds. Are you kidding me? They're like minutes long. So Gab's clone also wakes up.
And does
so
the
that's
soft
nice.
voice.
Yeah.
Soft voice Xena.
Oh, yes. Whispery voices, yeah.
And then Xena sort of, it wakes her up from her blood haze.
So Dr. Alexis Los Alamos tells the clones that, guess what? You guys are clones. You're perfect reproductions of Xena and Gabs from 2,000 years ago. And she's like, welcome to the future.
And they're like, can we please go back? We hate this. I wish they did that. They do not.
So as Gabs tells Xena to take the pinch off of Joxer, and she does, and I'm like, boo! Oh. And that, especially because he got into the fact that he got pinched by Xena.
Yeah, then he's like, hey, I just got pinched by
like,
Xena.
oh, gross.
Xena asks if Ares did this?
Yeah, and Dr. Alexis Los Alamos says, no, it was a higher power called science. And I'm like, whoa.
How dare you, Dr. Alexis Los Alamos?
I think this is like Paul Robert Coyle's, belief systems here coming to life.
I mean, I think science is probably more powerful than Ares.
Than Ares specifically?
Yeah, than Ares specifically.
Yes. So then we have like a whole thing with Clea, because she's like, well, you guys have been brought to the future because they need real heroes now because the news is shit. Like,
yeah.
this makes no sense at all.
No.
Yeah, and it's also just, I mean, talk about embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, I actually felt very embarrassed by this. It just felt
embarrassing.
so hand-wavy and also just a little icky,
Yeah.
sort of using real-world footage to justify...
Well, they made sure it wasn't like super graphic.
Yeah, but still,
real.
it's still footage of real suffering and riots.
Yeah.
And somehow Xena and Gabrielle are being held up as like,
Yeah.
Well, why is it okay for Batman to be the Cape Crusader going around dealing with this shit on the news, and
Do they
it's not okay
use
for
real
Xena?
footage in those movies?
No. I didn't
any
mean. I didn't
point?
mean like that. But
Right,
but
that's
like
the
the whole
difference.
point of
That's
like
the difference.
they were like, let's get Xena
honestly,
to
if
be
they just said the
kick-butting for
world
good.
needs heroes, I would have been like, okay, well, the world always needs heroes, sure. But the fact that they had to do, again, a Fifth Element thing. Of being
Yeah.
like, look at all the human pain and suffering.
I mean-
Oh, yeah, I guess that's the same thing.
yeah.
Yeah, but
That's okay.
She
Oh,
saw
no,
that.
we stink.
No.
We're hypocrites.
Lilu Dallas Montebaz saw that and was like, humans suck. I don't want to help you.
That's true.
So
which
that was like a
good.
whole point of that.
Okay,
Yeah.
just gotta
Humans
find...
suck. They use footage of actual horrible things to entertain people.
Yeah.
Thumbs down, humans.
So
Okay, so we're not hypocrites.
no. This was
Okay.
like, I don't think that Xena could solve the world's problems in the modern age.
It's just nonsense is part of it. That's part of why using this footage felt so irresponsible, because it was just like, why? What? Also, these fans don't need any other reason to bring back Xena and Gabs than just they love Xena and Gabs.
Yeah.
You didn't need this sort of high flow and like, oh, they're going to solve the world's problems. Oh,
well, that's literally the point of this episode.
It has no point. Yeah. Spoilers.
Like, they don't really do that in general. Like, they
try to do good. Like, she wants her to.
They're not like solving the world's problems.
She literally,
individual problems.
Not the world, but the world as they know it.
Sometimes they do, because they're dealing with like, never mind, I take it all back.
Yeah,
I take back everything I said. They are like fucking with the entire universe and God's
like
systems.
Dayhawk.
And what am I even talking about?
Yeah, Katie. I mean, come on.
What am I even talking about?
What kind of fan are you?
I have no idea. Clearly, I should be fired. But I just mean like the scale at which I feel like they would not be addressing.
So Clea's like, oh, so we need you to kick butt for good. And then Joxer is like, she can kick my butt any day. And then they smack him. And I did like how, I forget which one of the girls says it, but she's like, he's gross. Because he is.
But it's like, why is he there?
I know, because he's the tech guy. He does the computer stuff.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So Xena ignores all that.
I think Dr. Alexis Los Alamos could do the computer stuff
herself.
I
would love her to do it.
She broke into her own lab and did it in secret.
I mean, seriously.
She don't need no man to show her how to use computers.
I mean, she doesn't, but she has to, like, maintain her cover. I don't know.
I guess
for some reason, they need
She can't
Joxer
look too confident.
Yes, exactly. So Xena ignores all that, and she gets to the pressing question. She says, "We're hungry. Got any food?" This was good.
This is good. This is a good scene. The whole episode should have been this.
The episode does come alive a little bit more
once they're awake.
Once they're alive.
Like, Xena and Gabrielle are here, like, talented people being, not that some of them, like, there have been good people so far, but, like, they are great, and they help the material by being extra great.
Yeah.
It is a reminder of, what star power can do.
And this is like a special, specific, like, Lucy humor like thing that she does.
She knows how to rock this.
Yeah, so I'm really glad this is, like, working.
She can do a lot with these props.
Yeah.
These props that are food. This is something Lucy can do.
So they bring over a box of donuts, and they start explaining donuts to them. They're sort of round, like chakram. I liked that.
You like that?
I liked that was chakram as a plural.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing. Okay. That was good. It's what do they call them? Fat and sugar and fat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Xena licks it.
We were really frustrated because we were like, there must have been donut equivalents in ancient times. It feels like a very ancient form of food because it's just
maybe
dough.
Not quite as
it's just
good.
Fried dough.
No, not quite as good, but like I just feel like the concept of being shown a round thing of bread would not be like a round thing of bread.
Yeah,
wouldn't be strange.
Pizza might give them pause.
Pizza, they would have. That's why there's more of a reaction to pizza.
So now Xena and Gabs are doing what we do. They sit around eating pizza and watching Xena.
I love this.
And they're watching the Xena Gabs friendship clips.
Yes. Very fun.
And I think this is straight out of Deja Vu all over again. It has the same voiceover.
What?
The friends we meet along the way.
Yes, okay. So he is using clips that have... Oh, no, he's just using footage
from clip shows.
Yes, he's using a whole clip show footage.
Yeah, the dream is collapsing. Now we're clipping clip shows and showing the clips from the clip show.
So here we get some internal monologue of our Xenites in the room. We hear Polly, she's like looking at Xena eating the pizza, and she's like, oh man, she can kick the asses of Jackie Chan, Jet Li, and reincarnated Bruce Lee.
She should have said cloned.
That's true. And then Joxer is like, oh my god, they're so hot. They must be super horny. Fuck so you. Gross. Ugh. And then
I found all these inner thoughts really stupid.
Yeah, they could have been way better. Yeah. Again, they're very one note.
It shows how these characters are not characters. Because, look, they have inner lives. No, they don't.
I mean,
these are not inner lives.
Yeah, it's real terrible. I'm just mainly mad because I feel like Polly would be thinking about other things, like not just like she could
She's
fight.
a doctor of behavioral science or something. She's got a lot going on in there.
So meanwhile, Clea is thinking about how she wants to counter all the macho discs that the others played by showing them old Ellen episodes, which also was very offensive, I thought.
Yeah.
Dumb.
I agree.
Yeah.
Dumb.
And
Dumb,
she's-
and I hate
yeah.
it.
She's the lesbian here.
Right?
Yeah, she's like, yeah.
And also showing them Ellen.
Ellen.
Well, I
It's like
mean,
the only. It's like it's so bad. Everything sucks.
okay, listen. Ellen was a really great show. So,
Oh,
I mean, I would
I'm
love
not
to
saying
watch
anything bad about
Ellen
Ellen.
episodes with the clones.
I'm
I
sure the
wouldn't mind
clones
it.
would have a good time.
I wouldn't
It's just so
mind it.
sad. I don't know. There's something about it.
It used to be called These Friends of Mine. Yes. So,
Oh, yeah.
so
the only popular reference they could make.
yeah. Yeah, the popular, yeah, for sure.
We should talk about how great Lucy Lawless is eating the pizza.
Yes, this is what I'm
Yes.
saying.
I mean,
would
this is
not
like
have
the
given
moment
away
of this episode.
for the world. I love this gif of her eating the pizza, her eating a pizza and watching her and Gabs make out in clips and going, all right.
Yeah, I mean,
That's shit I've ever seen. I
That's-
love it to pieces. So
Yeah.
good.
I mean, like, that's so much better than, like, that whole Ellen reference.
Right, I mean
Like,
that's the thing. The fact that those two things can exist side by side kind of says it all
Again.
about season 6, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
It goes into my thing that I've said recently, which is the more the show leaned in, which is like the give and no fucks thing, to making these specific references that are overt instead of just letting their relationship be how their relationship is, like on a normal, regular episode basis. Like this kind of stuff like annoys me more because it sort of just feels like, I don't know what it is. This feels like they're making fun of it, like the Ellen thing. The other part I like, but it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's stuff about when they just go to this, I don't know, place that it's weird. I don't know. I find it annoying.
I agree.
I don't know how to explain it other than that it annoys me.
well, it's also, I also was annoyed just in general for Clea bringing it up because she was already kind of like the lesbian one because she, wanted to make out with Gabs and the fact that she's like, oh yeah, I'm showing her Ellen clips. Like, I don't know. That was just too much in my opinion. And
It somehow just doesn't feel like, it's an outsider writing it.
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
feel that. You feel like
Exactly.
it's someone trying
Yeah.
to be like, what are these lesbians like?
oh yeah, Ellen!
and Gabs. And that's it.
Well, no, I think it's more like, if you like Gabs, you must like Ellen.
Like,
They both have short blonde hair. So did Clea. I mean, she didn't have short hair, but she
Anyway.
did. I did like that she had her hair be
and,
blonde.
And Dr. Polly, too, who, of course, always
well,
would have.
she has to have that hair.
But she's clearly wearing it just like
But she's not
Lucy.
obsessed with Xena, which is like, I don't know, I wish she kind of was. She's only obsessed with her fighting. It doesn't make any sense.
It's really weird.
I'm telling you, it's just action fan. The
Ugh.
end.
But only for Xena.
I
Not
don't
for
know, I
not
don't
for like
know.
Gab's action.
I
like,
don't know.
It's just Xena specific action fan.
Speaking of Gabs action,
Yes.
Gabs trying to figure out how to drink out of a straw.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very funny.
Yeah.
You don't usually see Renee do these kind of bits of physical comedy.
Yeah.
This is more of a Lucy thing. So it was,
Although
it was fun.
whenever Renee does it, it's
Yeah,
hilarious.
in part because it's more
She's so
unexpected.
good.
So
Yeah.
this was great. And I
Yeah.
think, I feel like we tend to focus on Lucy eating the pizza because that's the gif.
Right.
But Renee with the drinking straw is equally amazing.
Very good.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I wish there was slurping noises. I wish there was a little bit more with her as far as physical comedy goes. What kind of pizza do you think that was?
There were olives.
and olive,
yeah,
no?
pepper and
I
olives.
thought it was vegetables because I thought there was like also just straight up like tomatoes.
Oh, wow.
Unless
So,
it's
like
a red
full,
pepper.
like, veggie
I think it was like a
lover
veggie
pizza.
lover. Yeah.
Okay.
You think it was good?
I think it was good, sure.
I think it was cold. That's for
it was
sure.
definitely cool.
Yeah.
How many takes of that did they have to do?
How many times did you have to try to eat it with a spit bucket, probably.
Yeah.
Ew.
Don't ruin it.
So they're watching the clips here, and then Xena herself is like, wait a second, that Ring Trilogy clip, that's not how it happened.
Yeah, this is confusing because
In episodes.
I was just confused by the correction.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she says that she didn't wake her up until she woke her up before going to Valhalla, is what she
Right.
says.
Right.
But that's what happened in the show?
Well, it's like they'd been to Valhalla before
Yeah.
in their lives, I guess.
I
No,
don't
had
know.
they not? Had Gabs not? I
Gabs
forget.
hadn't at that point.
Now I don't
Yeah, she
remember.
rides up
So they,
Yeah.
so the clones themselves now start
Yeah.
kind of like arguing about
About
because
what
they have their
actually
own.
happened.
This is a revelation. They have their own memories
that are separate
Yeah,
from
from-
what we've seen on the
Yes,
show. And
yes.
yet their memories sound like what happened on the show.
I know,
Right.
it's weird.
Very
She
confusing.
says that's
Yeah.
not how it happened, but it
Yeah.
was.
So the Xenites then ask what they think of the show, and
I had fun with
this was pretty funny. Yeah, Xena of course says that Lucy Lawless is hot. She's not
Which
wrong.
is, they look exactly the same.
Yeah, so she's not wrong.
That's
She thinks
fine.
she looks hot.
Yeah, I'm sure she does.
It's just, but it seems to be like played in such a way that it's like a different person. You know what I mean? It's like not. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, again, it is confusing. She's checking out herself on a
Great,
TV.
I like it. Gabs has a problem with the writing. This was
I
fun.
loved this so much.
She said it's not Euripides, and we remember Euripides from Athens Academy.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
She says, they've taken liberties with my scrolls.
She's also not wrong, probably.
Oh, for sure. And, there's something extra delicious about these lines appearing in this horribly written episode.
Right.
So, yeah, I was very happy to have these lines.
But then, of course, you have the big old line of what are they trying to say about our relationship?
Right.
And
then
Gabs
she's
says,
like,
who knows?
Yeah.
I kind of like this, especially because we've just come off talking about You Are There, where, they kind of defer answering any questions about their relationship themselves, but then never just, refuse to answer.
Yeah.
Instead you get that dumb thing with,
the
with the
sound
microphone,
and
Yeah,
we
the sound
talked
issue.
about that. Yeah, that the camera battery runs out or whatever nonsense
Yeah.
excuse. So I like that here they're actually sort of calling it out in a way that kind of gives them their power back. They're sort of like...
I guess,
What's
but their
going
power
on?
is completely...
Why doesn't the show say anything about our relationship?
That's not what they said. They were
But it
like,
could
what's
be.
going on?
Yeah.
Oh, who knows?
Well, you
Let's
could read
avoid
that
the
line
question
that you
again.
No, I know. Well, it's like you could read that line as them being like, "What? Like, yeah, why aren't they just being normal and showing our relationship
Yeah.
as it was? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are they trying to say?
How I saw
But
it.
you can also look at it another
Yeah.
way where they're like, "What are they trying to
Yeah.
say?"
Yeah.
Like,
How
you know,
dare
it's like
they?
literally that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you can't.
I guess. I thought... I saw
delicious
it-
subtext.
No, it's not. It's so not in this one.
Yeah, it really
Like, that's what I'm
isn't.
I
saying.
saw it as like more of like...
I feel
the-
even, using the phrase "our relationship,"
Right.
It
Yeah.
is not what
That's
you
what I'm
would
saying.
say.
That's what we
Yeah.
said it so much better before, but just when they go, it's like the winking that they used to have to do. That is real, genuine,
Yeah.
good subtext from season 2, 3. This is not that. This is like. Oh, they're like, I'm trying to wink really dumb. You can't really see it. But it's like,
not a visual
translating for us.
medium. Her
It's just
eyes just twitching.
yeah, it just doesn't, I don't know. It just doesn't translate.
Part of it, of course, is they're not, trying to tell the story to us in a way, where it's clear they can't really do it, but they're trying. They're not really trying. They're sort of just being like, LOL, remember trying? That's sort of what they're doing. They're not actually doing it.
What is the
They're
point
winking
of...
at the existence of subtext, not actually conveying subtext.
I think that this is a problem with any of these modern day episodes or whatever, is just because that is always brought up, and it's always better because they're not going to answer you definitively, so it's always some kind of dumbass answer. Just don't even bring it up and let the audience decide. If you don't have that question, then you have Xena going all right, when she sees the kissing, and that's
enough.
We're done.
Yeah.
Now they just ruined it by saying that.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes.
Yeah.
Like that was great. Don't keep talking.
Yes, exactly. Shut up.
Don't
Much
do
like
more.
Joxer fans, shut up about asking if Xena and Ares ever boned. Ugh, I hate you.
Now I want the Xena and Gabs clones to say what you just said, and then my brain will explode. Shut up! Stop doing it! Stop doing it!
So there's another really, really great moment here where Xena just gets up and like the pizza box and pizza on her lap just like falls.
Yep.
And she does not give
so
a
good.
damn. It's so good. She asks.
That's how you know she's evil? Question
No,
mark.
that was just clearly Xena
That
to
was
me.
a
Like that was
Xena
such a
moment.
Xena moment. That was pure Xena. She asks Gabs what's next. Gabs says that they should do the hero thing, and Xena says it doesn't have the same appeal anymore. And then she does like, you got some sugar and fat on your like chest, and does like the nose
That
twitch,
tweak,
whatever
yeah.
tweak. Yeah, that was really dumb.
Yeah.
She's like, I always wanted to do that.
The stooginess
Yeah,
has
oh God,
survived
oh God,
the
they
cloning
got-
process.
Who loaded the Stooge clips? Stoogefan.
Oh no.
That's Rob Tapper.
Oh my god, yeah, Rob
Like in the
Tapper
night.
cameos as Stooge fan. A very specific form of Xena fan. Who just loves fishing and the Three Stooges.
Can you imagine? Yeah, Xena Clone is missing her like fishing love. Gotta get Stoogefan in here. Oh God.
We gotta get to this bathroom.
Yes, Xena is on her way to relieve herself. And she's very excited because this is something in the future that is very good for her.
Oh, she mentions pork. Does that mean there was
Yeah.
something on the pizza?
Oh,
maybe like a
yeah.
sausage?
I guess so.
Maybe.
Pepperoni, maybe.
Unless they just had the entire pork side of pizza.
That's odd.
Eating some pork.
Yeah.
Pork rinds.
Yeah, maybe. So she's like, if the pork starts talking back to you, they have an entire room where you can go relieve yourself.
And then she
So.
goes, well, hey. What did she say?
Yeah, well, hey.
And it's very good. And she
So,
walks up,
yeah.
and it's a hilarious walking off.
She's very
Yeah, she really, like,
excited.
saunters.
Yeah. And she's going to encounter all this toilet paper. It's so good.
I will say that, like, yeah, the visual of seeing, like, Lucy in her Xena outfit, like, walking around this, like, high-tech, white, gleaming lab
Talk
set
about how she wants to take a shit. Yeah.
is pretty fun.
Except it wasn't when they were, like, on that set and you were there, like,
Well,
walking
'cause that
outside
was
the building.
ancient
That was-
Greece.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
Okay.
exactly the difference. Plus, also, these are clones.
That's fair.
So Dr. Alexis Los Alamos tells Gabs that she's concerned they've woken up the evil Xena. Oh man, she needs to talk to her over there, like, and kind of like leads her outside.
Yeah, this is a confusing moment. I feel like Renee is playing Gabs in this bit as sort of like a little stoned and like easily led. And I was puzzled by it.
I loved the height difference here between Claire Stansfield and Renee, because it was like really mondo, like
Yeah.
very huge lady.
She is a tall, tall woman. Our Claire / Alexis Los Alamos.
yes.
Doctor. PhD, MD.
So she leads her outside, and the cops show up. And she's like, oh, cops, here she is, the lady who broke into this office dressed as like a character from Xena, the show. So the cops are like very quick to be like, oh, we got to take her in because she's a loony.
They ask no questions.
Yeah,
They
they
just take her
draw
away.
their weapons. She didn't even have anything to. Oh
She
boy,
had the sai.
cops. She did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice it. But whatever. Anyway, she gets taken in, and also we get some flashbacks of fighting because this is her memories.
Oh, right. Yeah, this is
This
when...
is not clips. This is memories.
This is when I feel like the clip show element really just
Yeah.
turns into pure clip show
Yeah.
because we're no longer having the fans queuing up DVDs.
Well,
Now
we do. We get Joxer fan queuing up Joxer clips.
Right, this merges. That's part of it. Gabs' memories of Gabs fighting merge with the Joxer
the art,
clips.
the art in this
Oh,
episode.
wow.
Good Lord. I do like this though, despite the fact that it makes zero sense that he's showing Xena Joxer clips. That this is of course Joxer fan. Xena is asleep. It me.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness.
With that
So-
donut in your hand.
Yes, I mean, I did really, really enjoy it. Like, I loved all her, like, physicality in this whole, like, scene and, like, the previous with the pizza in the bathroom. Like, I just really like that. I like seeing our lady hero be, like, give no shits, like, totally.
Be a bit sloppy.
Yeah, it's just very sloppy. And So he asked her if, like, that's really how Joxer was, and she's like, yep, pretty much, and says, don't remember him being that smart, though.
Dun-dun-dun. Gotta get a good Joxer burn in. I mean, is it odd? You know, Joxer's been dead for, like, almost a whole season.
It made
His
no
presence
sense.
in this episode is so huge.
Yeah,
and,
it's
you know,
so
it would be one thing
stupid.
if they had Ted, Ted as a guest star for this one. They're gonna get him soon, but, like... Not here.
Doesn't make any sense. It's so dumb.
I think they did originally assume they were going to have Ted, but then
I thought they also wanted Michael Hurst in here, too.
Right. At one point, they also wanted Michael Hurst to play Paul Robert Coyle for
God.
reason. Like, why would he have been there?
Wow.
But they didn't end up doing that, I think, in part because they knew
he
it
was
would
in
be
You Are There.
confusing with You Are There. Yeah, I assume with Ted, maybe just the schedules didn't work out.
Whatever.
It would have made slightly more sense with Ted's actual presence.
For
Without
Joxer fan being there.
Without it, yeah, you just don't need to see all these Joxer clips. It just feels so irrelevant.
I think those Joxer clips were literally for Joxer fans still watching the actual show.
Well, Joxer fan isn't in the audience.
I don't know. I mean, I think maybe he still is. And he's finally getting his reward, seeing himself on screen. So Dr. Alexis Los Alamos comes in and she's like, hey, guys, Gabs has been arrested by the police. And Xena's like, what's the police? And then she says they're local warlords, which was funny.
Yeah, that was funny. That
then,
basically sums it up. That's what they are.
And then she's like,
Fuck the police.
They took her to the jail, which is like down the block, to the left, like a mile down. She gives her like exact directions to where the jail is. And she gives her real chakram, which I thought was really cool because it had like rust stains and stuff.
Yeah, I liked how they treated the chakram.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice detail.
The Xenas are very confused because she's like, what are you doing?
Why are you setting her up for disaster, sending her off to the police with this weapon?
Everyone's going to know about this.
I like that finally the fans get a moment of being smart.
Well,
It's a very small
They're
moment.
just confused.
Yeah.
AF. And it's revealed that Dr. Los Alamos.
Surprise!
What? Are you Alti Los Alamos?
Los Altimos.
And she hisses.
Like, yes. I love this whole thing, how she has it synchronized with the TV screens behind her in this like big, glorious, greenish fireball that explodes behind her as she transforms from her just like medium level eye makeup to like full-on raccoon makeup.
Plus the outfit, like the business
she has her like leather
blazer
fringe now.
became leather, and then
her hair is teased as opposed to a sleek blowout.
Oh yeah, and
So
the big old vagina necklace comes up.
We get the full Alti transformation.
Yes.
And to be fair, it's pretty great to see her.
I know. Yes. Welcome back, Alti. She explains why she's there.
Okay, this is so bad. This is just, this is like, I don't even know how you can write this and like still collect a paycheck. It is so stupid. Like, an 8-year-old wrote this. I swear to God. I'm sorry, Paul Robert Coyle. This is terrible.
What?
He's listening right now. He's like, oh man. So why is she there? She likes all the evil on Earth. But she hates that Xena Warrior Princess, the TV show, portrays Xena very well.
Yeah, she has this idea that somehow only the presence of Xena in the world creates goodness, that otherwise evil reigns. So she's been trying all these years to destroy the memory of Xena so that the world will be evil.
What?
That is so fucking dumb. I can't even begin. So how does she try to destroy the memory of Xena? She hides the Xena scrolls.
Whoa.
Wow. But then they're discovered. Oh no, in the episode The Xena Scrolls. And now they're making a TV show out of them. And now the world has been reminded about the goodness of Xena, and she can't have that. That is literally Alti's motivation. It is so bad. It is so bad. I'm just sitting here shaking my head right now that I'm talking about this.
Do you think it's something that Alti would pull, though? Remember how she was like Bones? She'd pull that.
Look, I'm not saying a lot of Ulti's motivations make sense. This one just is an evil monologue where you're just like, you did what now? And why did you do this? Okay.
Okay.
Maybe just don't like the TV show. That would be fine.
I feel like this is the kind of shit that Aries would pull, TBH, but whatever. I was happy to see her. And I definitely, like, this glazed over whenever she just, words came out of her
You were
mouth.
just like, Ulti speaking.
Right. That's how I felt about it
Yeah.
as well. Like, she said some stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. So
She also says that her plan is to alienate Xena from everything that's good and decent, and then she'll follow Alti. And
Oh,
they
yeah,
can
she wants her to
rule
be
the
a
world
sidekick.
together. Yeah, Xena's
Yeah.
her sidekick.
Alienate her from stuff in the
She's
world
more
that's
than
good
a
and
sidekick.
decent.
I guess.
Why even go through any of the bother of having, if this is such her entire, like, raison d'etre for being, why couldn't she just do this in the night, like when she did the Evil Xena clips, like, and just do that and not have the rest of the people doing the stuff during the day?
Oh, don't
Like,
ask.
I really feel like she didn't need any of these people to
Dr.
help
Alexis
her.
Los Alamos just does her own thing.
yeah, man.
Like, I don't know. Like, I guess that the two of them were there to make the clones, but I don't know. I feel like she could have done this.
Yeah, I definitely don't think she needed the fans.
Well, she also turns on the news, and we get a lot of, like, weirdo clips of, like, newscasters and various, like, news reports.
Talking
of-
about Xena's path of destruction.
Yeah,
Which
exactly.
is kind of funny.
I don't
not
need any
really.
of it. Yeah.
Just the
Apparently,
idea.
apparently the newscaster is the same one that they used in the Hercules episode.
So yeah, that links the two
Yeah,
universes.
sure.
The universe in which Kevin Sorbo
Is an actor.
No, Hercules is
Hercules is
an actor pretending
to be Kevin Sorbo
Yeah.
on the
Oh,
TV
yeah.
show. Why must these shows have this extra layer that like hurts your
it was
brain?
The late 90s. It was like postmodernism that was very
God.
specific.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
very-
There's a very specific postmodernism. It's true
Oh,
from that era.
gosh.
It was like self-referential.
Yeah.
Was really in.
Oh my god,
You
I
know?
did not need
It was
it.
so in.
No,
Scream did it.
That's true. Scream did it well.
Like kind of.
that was fine.
Scream
That's like
started it.
that was okay
Maybe.
somehow because they weren't like having like an actress play Jamie Lee Curtis from who appeared on Halloween like in Scream. Like it was just like they were watching horror movies.
Yeah, but you know that in that scene where Jamie Kennedy is sitting there, instead of saying like Lori behind you, he says Jamie behind you because his real name is Jamie, and it's like whoa, and
What?
the Scream monster is like behind him.
Oh, that's really
Scream
dumb.
guy.
That's really dumb.
I mean, it's probably. I mean, it could have not worked out that way. That's what I'm just saying.
It's still like
It's dumb when you think about it. That's why
it doesn't
gets
hurt your
dumb.
brain as much as this whole thing.
Yeah.
Especially that Hercules thing. That's
Oof,
crazy.
oof.
All right, so
What is with the zookeeper? He as a character confuses me.
wait, he's a zookeeper? I thought he was like a guy, like
I
a
thought
stoner
he
at a
worked
zoo.
in a zoo.
I thought he just was a stoner from
He's
a
just
zoo.
a stoner in a zoo?
I don't
guess
know.
that makes slightly more sense. I thought he literally worked at a zoo.
I don't know.
And then was so confused. I personally was confused when he was like, and then she gets on this crazy horse thing. I'm like, aren't you a zookeeper? Don't you know what
That's why I thought
the
he was just a
animals
guy,
are?
a stoner at
And
the
also,
zoo.
wait, they obviously like didn't have the budget and time to shoot her on a crazy horse thing, whatever that means.
Yeah, he looked like he should be like I don't know, maybe the stand-in for Aeolus in Young Hercules or something. Because I was like, what is this guy? Like, why is there so much?
He does look like Dino in the
Yeah,
face.
like in the
Yeah.
hair, you know.
Yeah.
All he did was grow some like sideburns. I don't know. Who knows?
It was confusing.
It was the whole.
a
Yeah, it
confusing
was real dumb.
sequence.
So anyway, now Xena and Gabs are in a junkyard because Xena is like forging herself some new weapons because guns are not good for hand-to-hand combat, which is very true. And that's the whole point is to avoid that so you can shoot someone from afar. So she's making a sword for herself.
They have a good time with all the sound effects when
Yeah.
she throws the gun away.
She shoots a cat.
Yeah, she shoots
It
a
seems
cat.
like she's
a cat
definitely
dies.
scared a cat.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, and also they call the local dungeon the city dungeon.
Yeah, this is my favorite line. You could have killed someone at the city dungeon.
Yeah, it was good.
I wish Gabs had gotten more material.
I know,
Every little
yeah.
bit is very funny.
Yeah. Alti literally rolls in the smoking ride. It's like a
Do we
70s
think
Trans Am.
Dr. Alexis Los Alamos would have this car?
Fuck yeah. I mean, we saw it in the first shot.
That's true. We know she
but
owns
like,
this car.
But like, damn, it was
This is
good.
the car. I mean, it's Alti. She would
right.
always have
Alti
this
would
car.
obviously
She got
have like a
style.
red muscle car.
Fuck yeah. Oh, I loved it. And I honestly was happy for Claire for like having to shoot all the like donuts and stuff that she did.
Yeah, she's talked about it, about how much fun she had shooting this episode. It's not surprising when you
Oh yeah, I'm
see
sure she had a
Yeah.
blast.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
the one person who is just so clearly having a
Yeah,
blast is
that's
definitely
her.
Claire.
Yeah.
It's not us, but
It's not us, yeah. So she enters the scene, right? She gets out of the car and she's like, I hear you've been busy, Xena. Missed your face. Your fury.
I feel like we haven't had to do the Alti voice in a while. You sound pretty rusty.
right?
So then it's like, remember Alti? We've already showed you some clips of her, but here are some more.
Right.
And then you get an extended one, which
Yeah.
is basically a whole scene out of Sin Trade, which is fine. It's a good scene, but I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, yes, we know Alti's evil. Thank you.
Plus, then, you know, and it, like, she's like, remember Gab Drag?
Oh,
And like, just showed her.
fun. She's like, remember
season 3?
Yeah.
here she's trying to like split her and Gabs up. Right?
Yeah.
So she's like, look at this shit you guys did.
Yeah.
Whoa. You killed your son.
you down and show you all of season 3.
It was so good. Remember?
rift. It was really funny.
Loved it.
Oh, man.
Oh man.
Gabs, of course, is like, let's try to, you know, block this evil energy here with some good ones.
Patented soft voice.
Yes, exactly. So there's some battling clips here.
My favorite, by which I mean my absolute least favorite, is the extended flashback to maternal instinct. Because you're just here watching your, like, car wreck fight scene, and when do you need some nice child death to really just, like, bring the mood up, you know? So they show this for, like, 2 minutes, and the cumulative effect is you're like, wow, Xena was really good in season 3. Look at everybody acting as opposed to whatever they're doing right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, oof, that was a bad decision on their part for so many reasons.
So it works on Xena. She is, you know, swayed by Gabs versus Alti. So she starts fighting Alti now. So this is a big ol' fight in the junkyard between Xena and Alti.
But we should mention that the clip montage then for Gabs being like, we were good. We did
Oh,
good
yeah.
things in the world.
Oh, she very specifically says a couple of things. One of them, when I put a little arrow at, she said, you weren't like this in the end. Think of what you accomplished, all the good we did for the world. I don't know. I just
You weren't like this in the end.
I put an arrow.
It makes you
and I
realize
was, like,
that
pointing at it,
the
like,
clones
oh,
you're watching have
poor-
like experienced
poor-
the end of the show.
Right, well, I just-
which we,
the-
the audience, have not.
Right, that's what I'm
What?
saying. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That's why I pointed at it, and also that I feel like it's like slightly because we were like 5 episodes from the end of the episode, under the series.
Wait,
So it's
these
like
clones have
They've
experienced...
seen Friend in
Yeah.
Need.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa. So how come Xena clone is like... Or did she experience it different than the show? Like the show...
Yeah, we don't know.
They didn't get into that
Developed
here.
the scroll differently. Oh boy.
know.
Oh boy.
I don't know.
All right.
But I thought the stupidity of then the clips illustrating that Xena did a lot of good in the world. They're 2 clips. They're both her saving a little girl in a village.
Right.
Yeah, that was
And that's it.
so
That's it.
annoying.
That's all the good.
That seems like not enough.
Yeah.
Nah.
And then like a whole bunch of like Xena and Gabs cuddling, which fair enough.
that's fine.
That's a lot of good in the world.
Yeah.
But you are just like, what? Really? That's it? Oh dear, Xena, you may as well go evil. Like,
God.
never mind.
But she doesn't, and she fights Alti. But Alti tries to run her over with her sweet, sweet ride. That was good.
Yeah.
I mean, this is fun. This action sequence in which Xena fights a car is like not a thing we've ever seen on the show before. You can tell that, everybody involved, the stunt choreography people are having a great time just, in this new context. Like,
I like that I like that she actually got run over. Yeah. That was good.
That's true. I mean, Alti's always a really good opponent for Xena.
You're
those are never like easy fights for her.
Yeah. So much better than like Agathon and Magathon and all those guys. Even Bellerophon.
Yeah, it's too bad Claire wasn't available to just, I don't know, be like the villain, like on a more regular basis.
So Xena has a line here: "For an old bird, you sure move fast." That was really dumb.
That was dumb, but reminded me about how Alti used to be a bag of bones and a hag.
Yeah, right.
Always very confusing.
Never forget the hag. After the car runs Xena over, it like kind of crashes into like a transformer of some sort. Not like a car transformer. That's confusing. not an alive alien car. No,
that's the crossover we don't need.
It causes a live wire to sort of make the car lit. And
this is definitely how that works. Science, yes.
Alti's like, "Nice move, Xena. You'll make a great sidekick." And then Xena says, "I'll give you sidekick." Maybe the worst line ever.
I think the clone didn't watch the CD-ROM full of lines.
Yes.
She didn't get how she kind of got the idea of lines, but she didn't understand how lines work.
Oh God! It was like, what? So she chakrams a car hanging off of a chain. And it falls right on top of Alti.
Do we believe that the chakram can cut through chains?
Oh, yeah. It can cut through anything.
As long as it's not like shades of Hephaestus that it's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
just
this
check
is
it.
like
Just
the
check
real,
it.
Yeah, this is totally fine. So the car falls on top of Alti, but wait, Alti's not a smush. She pops up behind Xena.
You don't kill Alti that easily.
Yeah.
Alti can't be killed by a car.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
She gets kicked by Xena. That's like a lot of high Zoes in this one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, she's doing amazing work.
Yeah.
So
Zoe.
good.
Yeah. So they do this like crazy. There's a crazy move that she does where on top of the car where like Zoe flies in and kind of like does a crazy kick of Alti. Like it just looks like her leg buckles under her and it seems like it might hurt, but it looks
amazing.
pretty cool. She
It's
gets
very
Alti
cool.
on top of the noggin.
It's a memorable fight. In a
Yeah.
very stupid episode. They
in a
clearly
junkyard.
probably used, 2 of their 4 days to shoot this fight.
Yeah.
And I mean, those are their priorities. I get it. Because they're all Dr. Polly's.
Well, speaking of Dr. Polly, she taps into this fight. And she does a big old wind up to take out Alti, but guess what? She gets punched.
Oh, yeah.
Falls down like a tree.
This whole idea that the fans have just been in the back seat of the car the whole time.
She brought them
with
in the
her.
car.
Even and they're
it's
like
so
riding
weird.
with her, being like, "Oh hi, Alti, can you pull over? I want to buy a sandwich." Like this is
it's
Alti
so
now.
weird,
This
yeah.
isn't Dr. Alexis.
I know.
Fans,
And
what
the
are you
fans
doing?
and Gabs kind of just like sit, like hide behind some barrels and watch this whole fight go down.
Yeah, they do nothing.
It is weird that I guess Gabs only had flashbacks. She didn't get a download of Gab's action.
She did though.
She did?
Oh.
No, they were like the flashbacks of her memories.
She got like Ides of March downloaded into her. She should be Ides of Marching all over the place.
Right? She should be like stabbing Alti.
Ides of Marching all over the place. Polly looks happy when she gets knocked out.
She does, yeah. I mean, I'm glad she tried. She's the only one who
She's
attempted
the only
to do
one
anything.
who does anything,
Yeah.
and then it is made to look ridiculous. So thanks for that
Yeah,
show.
great. All right. Anyway, Xena at a certain point sends Alti flying on top of her sweet, sweet ride, and she's super duper fried because of that live wire. It didn't like send her. I was gonna be like, oh man, I was gonna send her back to the future or something like that.
That's what it looked like. That's what those effects look like.
But like, nah, she's just super duper fried.
Pile of ash now.
Yeah, and that triggers all the like flammable barrels on top of like wherever they were hiding, like to explode. Like a video game, you know? Like the red barrels are bad,
It
so you
really
have to shoot
was
them.
like that. Yeah.
So Xena like runs to like save Gabs
Yeah.
and the fans, and
They're only able to save the fans.
right,
Yeah.
which is nice. I'm glad that their first priority
Yeah.
is saving me, not themselves,
And then they hug and explode.
Yep. Or so we think.
or so we
Right.
think.
So that's the Xenites are kind of walking back after this whole thing, and they're like discussing what went down. They can't believe that the clones are gone.
And they also seem very disappointed, actually, by meeting the clones. They sort of say, like, oh, you know, there's so much more dynamic on TV.
Yeah.
In person, it's a
Yeah.
little bit meh. And you're like, yeah, that's how this episode is. Thank you. This is very meh. I'm glad you see it, fans.
And then a taxi drives by them, and you see like the backs of like Xena and Gabs' heads, and they're clinking a little glass
Where'd
of
they
champagne.
get that? Where'd they get the taxi so far? What is
Yeah,
happening?
the junkyard taxi.
taxi with its junkyard champagne.
Right?
Classy.
Oh boy.
I would like this a little better if it wasn't so clearly their stand-ins. Like, there was something about it where I'm like, well,
like
that
Polly? Was
yeah,
it
Polly.
Meta Polly?
Meta Polly's probably there
shit.
in that taxi cab. It
Whoa.
doesn't quite translate for me.
The dream is really collapsing.
Yeah.
I guess they're alive and they're gonna live their own lives now.
Yeah,
somewhere.
as not Gabs and Xena, maybe? I don't know. It's a little confusing.
or Gabs and Xena, but like
The world
not
doesn't
kick-
need
kicking
heroes.
butt.
Yeah.
I think they're just gonna go to an island or something.
Okay, sure.
That's fine.
I'd watch that show.
Yeah, they can do that. So as the fans are walking back, Joxer fan asks if people will be
This is
believing
so
them at
bad,
cons
too.
from this story.
No, they won't.
No. This episode ends on the worst
Yeah.
note possible.
He says that maybe they can clone someone else because he has Dr. Spock's toenails at home
So
from
if
when,
you
he,
real- if
from
you
when
really-
he was a Trekkie. So that means he like gave up being a Trekkie.
Sure, you move from fandom to fandom. That's fair.
How
Yeah,
dare
that's
you.
true. That's
Once a
true.
Trekkie,
Well,
always a
no,
Trekkie.
it's that. So, but that's true too. But like, so, you know,
A Trekkie wouldn't call him Dr. Spock. Dr. Spock is a pediatrician. Thumbs down. He's
Yeah.
Mr. Spock.
Yep.
Not a
Exactly.
true Trekkie.
I guess he really should have had like Captain Picard's whatever
toenails.
mustache. I don't know. He doesn't have a mustache. Riker's beard hair.
There you go.
Thank you.
Rager's beard hair. No. Anyway, this episode ends on the worst note. They're not going to believe them at the conventions. They're like, you were a Trekkie.
And she
then
calls
she's
him a nerd.
She's like, you're a real nerd. And he's like, I'm not proud of it, okay? And then it's over.
Yeah.
Like,
This is
you're
Gabs
a nerd
fan.
for loving this other show. And then he goes, I'm not proud of it. And then the episode's over.
Yeah,
Like,
this is
whole
the
episode about
weirdest
fans
thing.
being like,
Yeah.
oh, you're a nerd for
You
like
should be
Star
ashamed.
Trek.
Ashamed.
And then he is. He's like, I'm not proud of
Yeah.
it. And he's like,
Deeply
ashamed. I don't get
ashamed.
it. Like, it's like, because it's a different show. Like, it's not Xena, so it's like, LOL. That doesn't translate. It just seems like it's like,
It seems like it's
ooh,
less
that's
nerdy
way
to
nerdier
be.
than this.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I
what
like
it
this episode
seems.
just turned around and is like, I'm the kid who liked to beat you up on the schoolyard. Like, I'm a bully.
so weird.
I don't celebrate fandom at
So
all.
anti-fandom.
I think you're the worst, just so you know. Bye.
Yeah, just so you know, I'm Paul Robert Coyle, and I think you guys are all nerds.
Yeah, it seems anti-fandom, anti-people enjoying things.
Yeah.
Like, just gross attitudes about, like, men.
Oh God.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
throw some more coins in.
Yeah, I don't like it. Confusion of the fun meta of Gabs writing the scrolls that become a TV show, making it make even less sense than it already does.
Yeah.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not my fave
Yeah.
for sure.
I would love to know what, a Henry Jenkins would write about some
Oh, that's a
you know,
great,
fandom.
yeah.
fandom scholar, Henry Jenkins. Probably has.
Yeah.
Some-
Listeners, let us know. What does Henry Jenkins think of sending the clones?
yeah.
Yeah, this is not the best.
Leaves me not feeling good.
Yeah, it's a bad final note. It
Yeah.
really does seem to reveal
Right.
itself in a way. It's like the mask slips at the last minute, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, and I mean, like, honestly, it makes you. I don't know if, I don't know if people like struggle with this, but like, I personally, like, I never reveal my fandom stuff to people just because like you get this attitude of like, oh, that's like
Dismissive.
that's like so stupid.
Yeah.
Like
How can you like?
yeah,
At least that's not really
Record
the
a
same
whole
anymore.
podcast about Xena
I
Warrior
guess, but
Princess.
at the same time, it kind of is.
I guess.
For some things. Some things have made it very mainstream, but some things, have not. But
Sure.
whatever. It's just like if you're not going to be able to do it right, like don't even touch the subject. That's what I think.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Unfortunately, this episode really touched it.
And honestly, if you don't have,
Gross,
if you
in a
haven't
gross
been
way.
a fan, you should not be writing an episode about fandom.
Also, it's really rough when like your whole show like really like has like a deep pocket of like if fans like make is the bread like of your show, bread and butter of your show.
Well,
don't fuck with them
Sure.
by saying stuff like,
Sure.
oh, you're a nerd.
Also, the people who generally make this show are fans.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
like
of
deep
Stooges.
fans. No. I mean, not even Dove.
Lucia Films and Spartacus,
No, yeah, for sure.
the
They're-
movie.
They're very much
I
fans.
just don't think that, but like, this is a very specific type of fandom that like popped up.
Yeah.
at
I think there's a difference between like
these
just fan and
times and-
fandom.
Yeah,
Sure.
I guess that's what I'm saying. You need to have experience with fandom
Yes.
if you're going to write about fandom.
And I mean, like, they've had Xenacons for years and years now. So,
Yeah.
like, they know
Yeah.
the fans and the
Yeah,
fandom.
they've
Like,
had-
they've experienced
yeah.
that.
And I'm sure that they've had bad experiences
Oh, yeah.
as well. Which
But
is
hopefully
like,
they've had good
'cause some-
experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, which I feel like don't focus on like the worst of
Yeah.
it, because I mean obviously I'll never know what it's like to be on that other side. Like
Right.
it can get
Oh, yeah.
bad
There
for
are some
sure.
intense people out there. For
But
sure.
like I just think that on the whole, if you're trying to incorporate, maybe don't
Yeah.
unless you're Galaxy
Or
Quest.
have an
Exactly.
actual like thesis
Yeah.
statement, because in the end I don't think they're really saying anything
Yeah.
about fandom. Like I don't come away being like, this is how the Xena staff views their fandom. I just have no idea.
Right.
It's so incoherent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that they view them this way.
Yeah, I'd certainly anything. I feel like whatever inadvertent bad messages they're giving off, like
Yeah.
that's not representative
No,
either.
I hope not.
I,
think
I
so.
really hope not.
right.
Yeah, I just,
Yeah.
know,
All right.
my frustration is that this episode actually has a lot of ideas. Like, it has Xena and Gabs confronted with the modern world, which
Yeah.
obviously is a great idea.
I
I
should
love-
have just the entire
No
episode just
way
been
that.
hanging out in Los Angeles.
yeah, like obviously you need a budget to do that. You probably need more than 4 days.
Oh God, it would be a whole thing. Like I want to see them go to the beach.
Right, it would be
like,
funny
it would-
and
yeah.
fan servicey in its own special way. They definitely should have done an episode like that.
Yeah.
It should be a day in the life, a day in the modern
in the
life.
modern life.
Yeah.
That's there. It even has a title.
Yeah. Like a sequel to that one, but like set in the modern times. Yeah, it's perfect.
So
Oh boy, would an AU episode be good? Jeez Louise.
yeah.
What an AU. Ooh, really reinventing the wheel over here with our episode.
We're
They
doing our
started it by bringing clothes
doing our
into the
best.
modern world.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you mean like our times, not
And then
like
they work
Xena's
in a
girls.
coffee shop.
No,
Yeah.
but they can get coffee.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
But so
Well.
you have that, you have the fandom satire, you have this thing about, needing heroes and science and just all this stuff where you're just like, no, like you're not even trying to make this
Right,
work. It's
yeah.
just in there doing nothing. So yeah, I think this is an episode where maybe like they just like, they were sort of being ambitious, like trying to fill, their running time with ideas, but they weren't actually developing any of those ideas. And the final result is actually very insulting.
Yeah.
Their disclaimer, of course, is that no Xena fans were hurt by the making of this or whatever.
They're wrong.
They're wrong.
Objection.
Well, that's them basically preemptively apologizing. And also
All
being
right.
like, you know,
right.
I'm sorry you were insulted.
Oh,
Great.
I can't believe Helicon was last week. And now we have this.
I know, that's a lot.
Right? Oh
It's a
man.
lot to wrap your head around.
Ooh, well,
This was also, I think they took a break after Helicon, and this is like the first of the
Uh-oh.
final group of Xena
Oh,
episodes.
no.
Can you imagine,
Oh,
like,
good
turning on your
Lord.
TV, being like, "This is the final run. Here we go,"
Oh,
and
Jesus.
you get this.
Oh, air
just
air
kick
break,
it off.
air, like
yeah,
break,
like
air.
a
Okay.
yeah, a little
Hiatus.
mini hiatus. Yeah, I guess in the late winter, early spring.
boy.
Gotcha. So the next are like a straight through.
I think a straight through. Yeah. So
I'm glad we did it because then we
6
don't have to do
more.
it again.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna do this every time. Every time we finish an episode, you're gonna look at the
it's a
countdown.
It's the final countdown.
Send in the clown.
6 more.
Wow.
Whee.
Well, next week we're kind of back to business
Yeah.
with Last of the Centaurs.
Yeah.
Down to
Which I like to call the sequel to Helicon.
Yeah.
Like
it is.
yeah.
I think that
Wrapping
actually at
up-
one point we're going to be a single episode. And then
Oh my god, are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah.
Oh, Amazon's and Centaurs
Yeah.
die at the same
Whoa,
time.
Yeah.
Shit.
Huh, that's too much.
yeah,
Wow.
I think that was their decision to split it. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get into it soon.
All right, so follow us on all the stuff and things.
Cool. We're on the internet, xenawarriorpodcast.com. That is where you can go and find everything ever. You can listen to episodes. You can download episodes. You can go onto Apple Podcasts. And over there is where you can like us, like give little stars and stuff, ratings, 5 stars. Hooray! Leave reviews. We love reading those. And also subscribe, of course. We are on what else? Twitter
Instagram?
at Xena Warrior Pod.
Yeah.
More commentary. And Instagram, Facebook. Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
I gotta update that Tumblr. I'm sorry. It's like Tumblr did that whole thing, and it was like, annoying with its rules and stuff.
Yeah.
Then I was
it's
like,
very
boo
sad
to
what
the
Tumblr
platform.
has become.
I'll go update that.
Well, I think
And
Pornhub,
Tumblr.
Pornhub might buy.
Oh, then it's gonna be even
Tumblr.
worse. It's a whole
they were
thing.
trolling for sure,
shit.
right?
But anyway, no. It's, yeah. So okay.
Yeah.
All the social media.
On the,
Hooray!
the power!
the passion,
The podcast.